Hello, everybody. It is Press Buttons. Welcome to another episode for the Tech Podcast with Press Buttons. I am so glad y'all could be with me today. So, welcome to Tech Weekly number 12. I'm very happy for y'all to be here with me on this fine day. Now, we do have a couple of announcements before we move on to all the tech news as of this week. So, number one, the date and time that I do these Tech Weekly episodes are going to change. It's not going to be a huge change. It's still going to happen on Saturdays, but instead of it happening at 10 a.m., it's actually going to be releasing at 8 p.m. Now, why, you ask? Because I may have plans on a Friday night with friends sometimes, and sometimes it pops up, and I just hate to, abandon y'all and not post anything for y'all. So, the new time for Tech Weekly is going to be Saturday at 8 p.m. So please mark that on your calendars, or if you have a reminder about it, just remember it will happen at 8 p.m. It will still be on Saturday, but it just happens at 8 p.m. just to give me some more wiggle room to record in case I don't have a chance on Friday night. Because usually, like right now, I'm doing this on Saturday morning at 12:39 a.m. So just let you know how late I usually do these. I don't get up at 9:30 in the morning and then do them. I do them, very late at night, and then I just schedule it and tell it to publish at 10 o'clock in the morning, and then it just publishes on its own. So Saturday, 8 p.m. every Saturday. Don't miss it. Number two, this is a very special announcement. So if you've actually seen on any of my social media platforms, my gaming ones, I have started a Buy Me a Coffee. Now, you're probably wondering, what exactly is Buy Me a Coffee? Are we going to get Press Buttons a coffee? I would love coffee, but that's not what that means. Basically, Buy Me a Coffee. So I was sitting down with my dad. We were watching a guy, and he said, support me on Buy Me a Coffee. And he said that YouTube takes 20 to 30% of your money. So 20 to 30% of your money that you earn, or all the money that you earn, they take 20 to 30% of it. So basically, you're not making a whole bunch of money on YouTube. So with Buy Me a Coffee, they change this problem. But of course, I'm not affiliated. I'm honestly nowhere near to be affiliated yet. That'll be in the coming years. Yes, years with an S. Yes. But I would really appreciate it if y'all donate to me on Buy Me a Coffee. It's just to support me, as I make this content. I'll put the link in the description below of this podcast, but all you need to do is you're gonna go to buymeacoffee.com/pressbuttons, and you can donate to me. And when you go on there, you enter the amount, you enter your name, and then or your social, and then you can say just a nice little message. You can also make the message private, or you can make the donation monthly. So like if you were to do a $10 donation, you can make it monthly. It'll be $10 a month that it's getting sent to me. So I would really, really appreciate if y'all donate to me. I already do have one supporter, and my great mom, decided to donate me $10, and I really, really appreciate that. And if this is not sponsored or anything, but if y'all are, a content creator and would love some support, start buying a coffee today. It is free, very easy it was very, very easy to set up. It took only a few minutes. The payment and everything is powered by Stripe, so it's very, 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 very secure. Stripe is a well-known company, so don't worry, your money is not, you're not risking your money or anything like that. It goes through as a safe process. Goes straight to me, and I would just really, really appreciate if y'all were to do that. And all you do, you just put your email in, you make a password, you just kind of just put in the name of your campaign, you just kind of have a description about it, any social links, and then for the payment's very easy. You can do your bank account, or you can just put in a debit card if you have it. I have a debit card, so I just put in my debit card number, so all the money just gets sent right to my debit card. So I would really appreciate if y'all were to donate to me. I would just highly appreciate it. It would really make my day. It really made my day when my mom donated. And I'll actually go and say the message that she said. She said, "Stay dedicated and keep dreaming big." You're destined for great things. And yeah, I just really appreciate my mom for donating to me. So thank you, Mom, for donating. I really, really appreciate the $10 donation. Yeah, please donate to me at buymeacoffee.com/press buttons. Would really appreciate to me if y'all do that. And y'all can also click the link in the description of this podcast below to check it out. Now, without further ado, let's talk about some tech that's been going on. So we got a good bit of stuff going on. iOS 26.4. It came out for developers this week, and we're going to be talking about exactly what is the changes, what's new. And no, we do not have the Siri, unfortunately. If Apple did not delay it, we would have access to the Siri. But unfortunately, we just don't have it. I'm just honestly really disappointed. Now, they did include a good bit of features. They crammed in a good bit of features in this update. So here we go. So it is in beta, but it's rumored to release around March or April of 2026. So there's going to be some updates in Apple Music. There's a feature called playlist. Oh my gosh, this is a very, very tongue twister. Playlist Playground. And with this, if you have an Apple Intelligence device, you can create playlists just with the AI. Kind of like how you have Image Playground, where you make like your own emoji. Like you say, make an emoji that looks like a robot, blah, blah, blah. I don't really use it. But basically, it's kind of the same thing for playlists. You just say, you can put like, make me a rap playlist with songs that are clean or anything like that. I haven't tested it out yet because I don't have Apple Music, but I will 100% be testing it out once when I start paying for it again. I just got an offer for 3 months for Apple Music for the price of 1 month, and that was a while ago, and it expired in January, and I'm just very, very sad that I don't have it anymore, because honestly, I feel like paying for music is one of the best subscriptions you have. No ads, you can choose whatever song you want to play. Spotify does do that, but Spotify really does. I'm not saying I'm against Spotify, okay? I think Spotify is great. Apple Music and Spotify are great. But I'd rather choose Apple Music, number one, because it's cheaper. And number two, the number two reason is because they just have just the integration with the Apple ecosystem is just really, really amazing. So that's what I really, really like about Apple Music. It also has Dolby Atmos. It has spatial audio and lossless audio. Spotify does have lossless audio, but they don't have Dolby Atmos or anything like that. But I do like on Spotify, I love the DJ X, where it's like an AI assistant you can talk to, and you can just say like, play me some chill songs, or play me some songs that I might like, and it will literally just listen to you, and it will play songs that you may like. I really hope Apple brings something like this in the future. I feel like it'd be absolutely amazing. But why would you pay $13 a month for Spotify? Because they just rose their prices. If you could just pay $11 a month for Apple Music. If you're an Android user, I can understand you wouldn't necessarily want Apple Music. But yeah, it's a big debate. A lot of my friends at school use Spotify, and they just keep nagging on how Spotify is better, although they don't study tech. I do. I study tech. So I just win every time, even though they pretend that they win every time. I'm always the true winner. So, with that, there's updated AI, so the albums and playlists now display a full-page artwork with dynamic background themes. So, let's say you click on Kendrick Lamar's album, and you scroll through his album, he has the picture of his album at the top. It's more immersive. It's more full screen. If that kind of makes sense, it's way more nicer UI that they have for Apple Music. So they updated the themes. It's really, really great. You can add to multiple playlists at once. Streamlines that manage your music, and there's also concert info in the app. So now they're kind of starting to do some things that Spotify does. Spotify was also really, really good about being able to tell you, something about, a concert that's coming out for an artist that you follow. That was something that Apple Music was a little bit weak about, but it looks like they're actually starting to do concert info. And you can also use their link to get tickets, which is really, really cool. Next, Apple Podcasts gets video support. So y'all know, there's podcasts out there that do video support, that are video podcasts. Now there's going to be a video playback now. So in Apple Podcasts, and also this is something that Apple even lacked as well. Spotify had the support for video podcasts like all along, and now Apple Music is now going to be able to do video playlists or video podcasts as well. You can switch. There's just a little toggle. You can switch between watching the podcast or just listening to it, which is very, very good. And next is RCS messaging. Now, you gotta not know it's encrypted. So if you gotta not know what RCS messaging is, it's basically like, if you text an Android, iPhone texts an Android, it's green bubbles, and it sends it as an SMS. You can't do anything. All you can really do is text. If you do a tap back, then it will just say, press buttons liked, and then it shows your message. Now with RCS, this got introduced about a year or two ago. You're actually going to be able to, you can see if they read your message, and you can do tap backs normally. There's better, higher quality videos and pictures, which is really, really cool. But right now, iOS 26.4 is testing end-to-end encryption for RCS messaging. It's currently iPhone to iPhone in beta, and the Android support will be expected later. Encrypted chats will display a lock icon when active. So you'll have protected messaging pretty soon. If you text Androids. Next is stolen device protection turned on by default. It adds a stronger biometric confirmation like Face ID or Touch ID for sensitive actions if your iPhone is stolen. So Apple's really trying to push, the security and the protection of your device. So I feel like having it turn on by default is honestly not a bad idea. I could see that being very, very useful. Next, is the ambient music widget. It lets you start ambient soundscapes from the home or your lock screen, like, sleep focused, chill and all that. Urgent reminders. It gathers high priority reminders with alarm alerts. Personal hotspot tracking. It shows per device data usage directly inside the personal hotspot settings. There's a new sleep insight tracking, and it shows the average bedtime metric in the health app. There's a unified Apple account hub. It merges account access across Apple apps like App Store and Music. iCloud.com settings, which is, you go to iCloud.com on like I do it on my Windows laptop. There's a new dedicated section for configuring iCloud web services, or access and search options. And then the camera audio zoom. It strengthens audio focus on the subject when video zooms in, enhancing on-device video capture, which that is pretty powerful, I will say that. And we have some CarPlay enhancements. Now, they're not here yet, but they are coming. You're going to be able to ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude are going to be you're going to be able to access them through CarPlay. Now, they're not going to replace Siri. Siri is still going to be the default voice assistant, but ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude are going to be an app. So you'll have to actually open the app in CarPlay in order to use them for complex questions, just like you use like AI chatbots for any other day. They're also going to add video playback support while you're parked. Videos may be viewable through CarPlay via the Apple TV app when your car is parked, but it is also going to depend on the automaker support as well. So yeah, I think that's just absolutely crazy. Some great updates, really, really great updates for iOS 26.4. Would have been probably the best update ever if the new Siri was out. Which there are rumors that they're going to push it back to iOS 26.5, which I really can't see that happening, or iOS 27. So if you're a developer, we only have about 4 months to go. And if you're not, then you'll have to wait a little bit more. But we're hoping by iOS 27 that the new Siri will be here. But if it does come in iOS 26.5, that'll be amazing. I can see it more as an iOS 27 feature, just because, it's a whole nother update. So then you get a whole nother Siri. Like, I feel like it was just like a better introduction. But of course, the earlier the better, of course. So it is what it is. And last thing we're going to talk about today, Apple has invited content creators to go to an exclusive and very, very special Apple event. Now, this is not going to be streamed on YouTube. This is going to be more for just for the content creators, and it's going to be for really what it's going to be about is all the content creators that come. Is going to be on Wednesday, March 4th at 9 a.m. Eastern. And all these content creators are going to come together and they're going to be able to have hands-on with the new devices that looks like they're going to release. And of course, these are not official, but there's a lot of rumors of all these devices happening. So the iPhone 17e, so it looks like we might be getting it. Which I can't remember when it came out. When did it come out? The 16e. It came out. I know it was right around this time. I know that. Let me check on my podcast. I talked about it a long time ago, back in last year, back in Q1, or maybe it was early Q2. Oh, February 19th. That's the day when it got revealed, and today's the 21st. So yeah, the time's about. This is only the second iPhone, 2nd that they're doing. So, I don't know, they're going to just kind of play around with it since it's still like a newer, model of a phone, or if it's really going to be around this time. Which, of course, on the iPhones and all the new devices, they stick to the September launch. Yeah, it is about the time that the 17e should be coming out. So, yeah. And you got to not remember what the E phones are. Basically, they're just lower budget phones for some people that don't want to spend $800 to up to like $1,200 on an iPhone. This is more like budget friendly, which of course you are losing some benefits of it. So that's just one thing. We've been talking about this a lot, but the low cost MacBooks with the A18 Pro chip is apparently might be coming during this event, and this MacBook, the A18 Pro chip, is also found in the iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max. So I did talk to my friends about this the other day, and we were kind of discussing it. I was like, we were all like wondering like, how well is the MacBook going to run? Is it really just going to lag? I'm sure they're going to put some things on it to make it, run good. But of course, it ain't going to be as fast as like, the M5, the new M5 chip. Speaking of the M5 chip, apparently there's going to be an updated MacBook Air with the new M5 chip and MacBook Pros with the M5 Pro and the M5 Max chips. But it says the high-end models could arrive later. Looks like we also may get the new iPad and iPad Air. The iPad will have the A18 chip and the iPad Air will have the M4 chip. There is a lot of talks about Mac displays coming out, and it says there are reports saying that there might be a little bit of talks about the AI powered Siri, which that's still, of course, in the making, of course. So I'll be very curious to see what they really talk about. So Apple may publish announcements, like blogs on their website. That's probably how we're going to know. And also, follow content creators on social media. There's a lot of great content creators out there like MKBHD, Apple Insider, 9 to 5 Mac Rumors, Apple Design. There's a lot of great content creators out there, so if you want to keep in track of what there's the latest news in Apple, please follow them, because I'm sure that they are. I listened to 9 to 5 Mac Daily, and the host on there, his name is Chance Miller. He's really, really great at talking about tech. You also go check him out. Monday through Friday, They're like literally 7-minute podcasts every day. They're really, really good. Especially if you're someone that doesn't want to sit there for like a whole hour listening to a podcast, but you want something just short enough but sweet. 9 to 5 Mac Daily is a great one for you to learn about the latest Apple news every day. But he said that he got invited to the event, so make sure you follow 9 to 5 Mac to see what he talks about. And also keep following me, of course. Whenever I see an interesting post, I always repost it. And of course, I will be talking about it, especially on I'll publish it and also do a podcast on it. At least the next day will be the latest, but usually I'll try to do it the same day. Yeah. But that's gonna be it for Tech Weekly number 12. Everybody, thank you all so much for watching or listening to the Tech Podcast with Press Buttons. Please follow me and support me on Buy Me a Coffee. The link is in the description below. Thank you, everybody, for supporting me. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.